Hey everyone, my name is Patricia. I may look like a normal girl, but trust me, I'm far from that. Here's my story. The truth is, I'm actually a tissue. I know it seems impossible, but this is true. I was near the end of the tissue box, almost the bottom. One day, a man had a terrible cold. He took me from the box and blew, but he must have blown a little too hard, because I went flying out of his hands and straight out the window. I flew all over the city, and that's when I landed in the scientist lab. Next thing I knew, I was inside some green liquid. It was so disgusting. Some scientists looked at me and screamed, "That disgusting pig!" I was a very fine-looking tissue. He quickly extracted me from the machine, but he was too late. He started running towards me, which made me want to panic. Confused, I jumped right out the window. A few hours later, I woke up in the hospital with legs? And that's when it hit me. I was in a human's body. How could this happen? One moment I was a light tissue and the next I was an ugly girl. My head began to spin when someone walked in. It was that doctor that had noticed me. I went crazy and began throwing all kinds of insults at him, telling him he was a terrible person for doing this, but he told me to calm down. He explained that I had accidentally flown into the body swap serum just before they fired it up, and by the time he noticed me, it was too late. My head hurt so bad from all this information. The doctor introduced himself as Brad and told me he was going to help me get back to my original form. I went to live with Brad after I had recovered and took on the name Patricia. It took the scientists in the lab a long time to fix my situation, especially because it wasn't their top priority. But after about a year, they had done it. I thought that I would be excited to go back to being a tissue, the freedom, the lightness, the overall feel. But I had realized something that changed everything. I discovered that I had fallen in love with Brad. He had taken such good care of me. I didn't want to leave him. 2 weeks before the body swap, I told Brad how I felt, and I discovered that he felt the same way. How could we leave each other? The next day we went to the lab together and announced that we wanted to cancel the body swap. But the stupid manager wouldn't let us. He said that the girl who I had switched bodies with, whose name was Izzy, needed to go back to her original form. Her family had been waiting for an entire year, and if the lab didn't, they would have to pay Izzy's family over $100,000. But that didn't stop Brad and I. So what if Izzy's family never got to see her again? We didn't care. That night we decided to run away a day before the swap. Brad had a distant cousin in a faraway deserted land who was willing to take us in. Brad promised that they would never find us, and I trusted him. We ran away and lived with his cousin for 6 months. Then, one night, I met a really hot guy named Roberto. We began seeing each other behind Brad's back, but I didn't know it was wrong. Brad had always told me to stay away from other men, but I didn't know he really meant it. Then one night, we were caught. Brad immediately broke up with me, and Roberto found a hotter girl and left me for her. Those jerks! I'm thinking about going back to the lab and doing the body swap, but I don't know if I want to. What do you think I should do? Please leave your suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.